रक्ष मां शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर 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 रक्ष माम् शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष माम्
Sumaji, are we good to go? All right. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sharada Sharadamboja Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvata Sarvatasmakam Sannidhem Kriyat Sada Shiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vetaraham Vivehinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidushekara Bharatim Sadguru Charnaravindabhyam Namaha. Hari Om. Namaskaram, Mami. Namaskaram all. Very glad to see you all. Wish you all a very happy New Year. Happy Makar Shankranti. We are meeting on such an auspicious day today. So happy to be back on this session after a gap of 3 months. So really looking forward to these sessions, Mami. Please take it forward.
Thanks a lot. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. We'll also see say Namah Shri Shankarananda. Namah Shri Shankarananda Gurupadambu Janmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane. So doing namaskarams to Devi Sharadamba and Shri Mahasannidhanam and Shri Sannidhanam, the entire Guru Parampara. We'll start today's class. I'm again very grateful for the SVBF people for giving such a beautiful opportunity. And I want to apologize for last time's suddenly not coming because didn't feel well. So we had to cancel at the last minute. So I'm so glad that we are able to join today. Thank you very much. And the only problem when we don't have class for a couple of months is that then we don't know where we are. And then when we start, then it looks like, what is this? Where does this come from, etc. So last time I was just looking at the that video, and then I have said how from now on we should have it exactly every month so that we don't have to keep on repeating. And lo and behold, we had to keep on postponing. Anyway, so this second chapter that we are on is about the Pancha Mahabhutas, Panchabhuta Viveka. That's what it's called. So in that, as the 5 elements, we said how Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, and Prithvi, the 5 Panchamahabhutas, have their respective, properties. So for that we said the sound, touch, color and form, taste, and the smell. But the beauty of it is that Akasha has, that is the space, has sound as its property. And then the next one, Vayu, has sound and touch, both. It takes the parents' properties. Last time we said that. I mean, last time means long time ago. And then how Agni has not only the color and form, but also it has the sound and touch. The same way Apa or the water takes sound, touch, color and form, and also taste. And then finally Prithvi, which has got its own as the smell, has all the other properties also. So it has all the parampara. It takes all the previous ones also. We said that. We had first done that. And then after that, we went to Jnanendriyas, which have come from that only, from the Pancha Mahabhutas. And the Jnanendriyas, namely the eyes, nose, etc. And we said what are their golakas, the sense organs, and then the golakas, their, where they reside. And then how the, all the seeing, touching, tasting, etc., where they reside. In the last session, we saw about the 5 karmendriyas. The five karmendriyas and their functions. What indriyas take up those functions, like the speech, grasp, and then locomotion, excretion, and the reproduction. The 5 karmendriyas, that is their functions. And we saw what their golakas, where they reside. After doing that, we went on to the mind. The mind, which was called as Antakaranam. Yeah, we said in English, we say mind, but it is Manaha, which is translated as all the things, mind, intellect, the Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, everything is included, which when we say mind, we can't get the actual meaning of it. So the mind was described there as the boss, Adhyaksha. It is the boss of all the 5 karmendriyas and 5 jnanendriyas. So it is a preraka. It commands all these 10 dasha indriyas. Now, where does that reside? The question came. And at that time, we said it resides, the golaka of that is the heart. So even though the mind pervades the entire body, the whole body, because if something falls on your head, you know, if something hits your foot also, you know. Huh? So the whole body is pervaded by the mind, whereas the eyes are not like that. If I look at the right, I don't know what is on the left. When I'm looking at the right, I cannot know what is on the left, etc. So the mind pervades the whole body. Yet we say it resides in the heart. Yeah, even though it pervades the whole body, it can be clearly experienced in the heart. So, like, even though when the light is on, it pervades the entire room, but still we say that the light is in that lamp, like that. So, similarly, even though the mind is throughout the body, we are able to locate it in the predominantly in the heart, because that is its abode. And that's why it said, Hrit Padme Golake Sthitam. And I wanted to chant those two shlokas for the 11th and the 12th. I should have done that before. I forgot about that. So if Srini can please, the 11th and the 12th, correct. I wanted to especially do the 12th one, because last time I was making a mistake in chanting the 12th. I told you next time I will, chant it properly. Vakpani pada payupasthaihi akshaistatkriya janihi mukhadi golake shvaste tatkarmendriya panchakam. Now, next one. मनोदशेन्द्रियाध्यक्षम् हृत्पद्मे गोलके स्थितम्. Next line, I'll chant and you can repeat. Tachantah karanam bahyeshu asvatantriyadvinendriyaihi. Tachantah karanam bahyeshu asvatantriyadvinendriyaihi. Yeah. So this is what I had made a mistake in the second line, because when you look at the English transliteration, it became a little bit difficult for us to chant it properly. So that's what I wanted to clarify for those of you who are trying to chant this properly. So in this, we say that the mind is called as antakaranam. Why is it called as antakaranam? One is antaha means inside, karana means instrument. That it is called as instrument is clear, because it is the mind which uses the senses that perceives the entire world. Through all these senses, the mind perceives it. So it is called as an instrument. But why is it called as inside? Because even though all the indriyas, they're not golakas, but the indriyas, they are also in the subtle body only, but still mind, which also enjoys the same subtlety, is called as antakaranam, not the you can take out this yeah. So we call this mind as antakaranam. Why it is called like that? So it is as though the mind takes up these senses and does the function. And with the thing that you take for working with is called as outside, and that which takes it is called as inside. Like when you take, the glasses, they are outside, and you take it and put it on, this becomes outside and the eye becomes inside. Or the other example that is normally given is, you take a knife to cut the cut vegetables. Now both of them are outside, but the knife is taken to cut the vegetables, so the vegetables are dependent upon the knife. So the knife is taken as though, so it is outside, and as though this is inside. This is just to make a little understanding as to why this is called as antakaranam. So even though the senses and the mind enjoy the same status of subtlety, we speak of the senses, both karmendriyas, and in as though they're outside, and this is antakaranam. Now, and then it says, Vina Bahyeshu asvatantriyat vina indriyaihi. So, with respect to cognizing the external world of objects, which are like Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, etc., vina indriyaihi means without the sense organs, asvatantriyat. The antakarana is not independent. It cannot, if the mind alone is there and there is no eyes or nose or anything, then what will it do, poor thing? It is totally dependent on them to, to see the entire outside. So in this way, Vidyaranyaji is calling it as Antaha. So he is explaining that very beautifully. And last time we were at the end of the lecture, so we couldn't finish it properly. So I just took it up a little bit. So with respect to what the mind is called as Karanam, now that is what is now being told here in the next one. So we go to the 13th one. Aksheshvartapiteshu. No, please bring it a little bit nearer. Aksheshvartharpiteshvetat Gunadosha vicharakam. Aksheshvartharpiteshvetat Gunadosha vicharakam. Sattvam rajas tamaschasya Guna vikriyate hitaihi. Sattvam rajas tamaschasya Guna vikriyate hitaihi. Together. Aksheshvartharpiteshvetat Gunadosha vicharakam. Sattvam rajas tamaschasya Guna vikriyate hitaihi. So now we can take it out. Aksheshu. Aksheshu means, Aksha means all the indriyas. All the indriyas. Artharpiteshu means the indriyas are arpita. Arpita means they are offered. Normally we call it as arpita means offered, but here it means engaged. So all the indriyas are engaged. Arpita, artha. So all these are engaged with their respective objects. So all they are, the eyes can see, all the sights, the ears, all the sounds, etc. So with their respective, so Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all these are the Jnanendriyas. And the Karmendriyas, what they do with the hands, legs, etc. Ukti, Adana, Gamana, and then we say that, speech and walking and holding, all these things come under. That is the Artha, Arpita for the Karmendriyas. So when the Indriyas are engaged with their respective objects, with respect to the Indriyas, Jnanendriyas, you perceive everything. You understand what is seen, what is heard, etc. With respect to Karmendriyas, all those functions which are being performed, like walking, grasping, etc., etc. So now let us take the cognition of objects through the sense Jnanendriyas. Now, what does the mind do as an instrument, as a karana? That's what now our Vidyaranyaji is trying to tell us. Guna dosha vicharakam. Means this is the unique aspect of this mind. What does it do? All the time. Guna dosha, guna dosha, guna dosha. So it keeps on thinking about guna, what is good, dosha, fault, what is not good. Yeah. So the mind divides the whole world into two. This is good, this is not good. Sometimes it divides into three. I don't care. That also is there. But normally the whole world is divided into two. Now, it does that always. Vicharakam means it inquires or it thinks about this. Now, not only all things, but all people also. As you're talking, this guy is good. This one I have to avoid. All these things about people, about events, about things, everything, the mind keeps on dividing the whole world into two. So, this is what Antakarana, as a Karana instrument, this is what it is. It does, and that's why it's called as an instrument to see what is good and what is wrong. See, what does it say? It says, idam grahyam, idam agrahyam. You can accept this. No, don't accept this. The mind is just all the time doing this from inside. So, this kind of thing does not belong to the Indriyas. Eyes just see. They see bad scenes, good scenes. The ears hear good noise, whatever, or bad, whatever. There is no judgment. But this mind is the one which is making us think, oh, this is horrible. This is very good. These kind of things belong to the mind. So, the one who decides this is good or bad is the mind. So, mind is because it is of the nature of reflection of guna dosha. So, mana, it itself is mananatmakam manaha, means that which is reflective, that which keeps on reflecting on things. So, and it says not only that, it has three properties. What are the three properties of the mind now? Sattvam, rajas, tamascha, asya gunaha. So, asya, of the mind, the properties, gunaha, the properties of the mind are, there are three kinds of thoughts, which is one is sattva, or second is rajas and tamas. We already know what these are. But the actual meaning, as you know, sattva just means sat, that which exists. And then rajas always means dirt. And then tamas means darkness. This is the actual meaning. But we use it as tamas for inert aspect, inert, rajas for dynamic aspect, and then sattva we use it for knowledge aspect. These are the three inner meanings of these three gunas. If the mind, now there is a question that should come to your mind. If it does not come, let me put it in your mind. So, we say that the mind has come from the samashti sattva of all the elements. The 5 elements, each one has all the 3. The sattvic part from the samas, from all the samashti, all of the sattva of each of those has become the mind. Now you are saying the mind has all the 3. How come? One of you has to, hold me by collar. I don't wear anything. But you have to say, how come you are saying like that? Now, we have to understand, if you go back to the original Tattva Bodha and all which we have learned, in that it said, Sattvamsha Pradhana Apanchikrita Pancha Mahabhuta Karyam Antakaranam. So, Antakaranam, the mind, is the effect of the subtle 5 elements, which is predominantly sattvic. Sattva Amsha Pradhana predominantly does not mean that it doesn't have the others. Okay, so most of it will be sattva, but it also has rajas and tamas always combined. Otherwise, you cannot have anything. You have to have all the three together only. So there is an element of rajas and some tamas. So that's why we say the mind has threefold qualities. That is all the three, sattva, rajas, and tamas. So now vikriyate hi taihi. So through these three gunas, it undergoes vikriyate. It undergoes modifications in the mind. So the points established so far. First, we said, why is the mind called as karana? What is its function? And then we said, first we said it is the adhyaksha or the boss, and then now we are saying it is also vicharakam. It is the one that thinks and all that. And then what are its properties and what do they do and how does it modify? All these things now, today, all these things we have now analyzed. Now, after saying that sattva, rajas, tamas are the gunas of antakarana, then it undergoes modifications by these gunas. Then, now Vidyaranyaji is going on to say what are the sattvic modifications and what are the rajasic modifications and what are the tamasic modifications. So one by one, as we say in this Panchadasi, what he says something, that means next topic will be that. So from one to the other, there is always a connection. So how beautifully he is taking us through everything. So from the Pancha Mahabhutas, how everything has come slowly and slowly, we have said, how the eyes, nose, etc., and then how the legs, etc., and then how the antakaranam, now what the mind has, three types of qualities. So now we are slowly going inside, and then once all this is analyzed, then we go to the original shlokam that we were talking about, what the real tattva is and all that. We will go to that later. So now we go to the 14th and the 15th verse. Vairagyam Kshantiraudaryam Ityadya Sattva Sambhavaha. Vairagyam Kshantiraudaryam Ityadya Sattva Sambhavaha. Kamakrodhau lobhayatnau Ityadya rajasothitaha. Kamakrodhau lobhayatnau Ityadya rajasothitaha. Together. Vairagyam Kshantiraudaryam Ityadya Sattva Sambhavaha. Kamakrodhau lobhayatnau Ityadya rajasothitaha. Now, actually, the 15th first line we have to take, because 16th one goes to the next one. But then we'll chant both of them together now. Alasyam Bhranti Tandradyaha Vikarastamasotthitaha. Alasyam Bhranti Tandradyaha Vikarastamasotthitaha. Satvikaih punya nishpattihi papotpattischa rajasaihi. Satvikaih punya nishpattihi papotpattischa rajasaihi. Together. Alasyam Bhranti Tandradya vikarastamasotthitaha satvikai punya nishpattihi papotpattischa rajasaihi. All right. Now we said vairagyam, etc. So it said sambhavaha utthitaha, those mean they are born. They are born, means they come from. So from the sattvic qualities, what are the modifications that come out? So he gives some examples. So only a few examples here he can give, in this little bit of, he's just giving us some examples only. The others we have to know. We are supposed to have gone through all other things, so that will also, I'll remind you, so that you will remember what are the sattvic qualities. So first he says vairagyam. Vairagyam means dispassion. So Rajasic, Sattvic, Tamasic. And we said Sattva, Sat means existence, goodness. So that which is worth existing should be good. Otherwise, it should not be existing. So Sattva is used always for goodness. Now, similarly, Rajas means dirt, and then Tamas means darkness. So in the 14th chapter Bhagavad Gita, which deals with all the three gunas, it says, Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakashakam Anamayam. This is the definition of that Sattva Guna there. Two properties of Sattva Guna are given there. Once you go through the Bhagavad Gita, then this becomes more easy to grasp because he's only giving 2-3 examples. So the Sattva means Prakashakam and Anamayam. So first is Prakashakam, because it is pure, Nirmalatvat, because it is pure. One is it is Prakashakam. Prakashakam means effulgence, that means clarity. Always Prakasha, the brightness stands for clarity of all the thoughts. So all thoughts connected with this kind of sattvic nature, we must take it as a modifications of sattva. And mind comes from, as we said, mostly samashti sattva of all elements. So samashti, because it is that is samashti sattva pradhan only. Mind by nature should be only sattvic. That should be it. And so in the constitution of the mind, even though there is rajas and sattva, rajas and tamas, predominantly it is sattva. That's why we can take the mind to highest sattva. How can we, being born as these human beings, with all the negative, crooked thoughts, etc., how are we able to become better and get moksha? How are we able to reach the highest? We have to really analyze. If the mind were not basically sattvic, we cannot do it. So we have to understand that we can make it established in pure sattva and help it to transcend the mind itself and then finally dissolve the mind. That's how we become realized. And that can be done because of the sattva pradhana of the mind. So sattva is the natural state of the mind. That's why we always feel at ease with sattva. Even when the mind is disturbed, we always try to quieten it somehow or the other, because sattva is the predominant nature of the mind. When the mind is still, we don't want to disturb it normally. We may try to disturb others' stillness. That's what we are all very good at. But our own mind, we want to keep it as calm and as quiet as possible. Now, those sattva, rajas and tamas, which are the material cause of this mind, now what kind of transformation do they make in our mind? Whenever there is clarity or comprehension, we have to understand that is sattvic nature. We have to understand like that. So Prakashakam is one aspect. Another aspect is anamayam. Prakashakam, already we said clarity. Anamayam, amaya means disease. Amaya means disease. Anamaya means no disease. But here, what is the disease of mind? The disease of mind is sorrow. Okay. So, when always we say adhi and vyadhi, these two words you must have heard. Vyadhi means the disease of the body. Adhi means disease of mind, which is sorrow. Okay. So we always say to the Lord, let my adhi vyadhi go away. So anamayam means where there is freedom from sorrow. There is no sorrow at all. So joy, where there is joy and where there is bliss, where there is happiness. So these are the tests for sattvic modifications. If it is of the nature of prakasha, if it gives shanti, if it gives happiness. So, in Bhagavad Gita it says, ashantasya uta sukham. For a very agitated man, you cannot say, nowadays I'm very, very agitated, but I'm very happy. Nobody will say like that. Happiness and shanti only goes together. We have to remember that. So those thoughts which reflect clarity, peace, are the modifications of sattva. Now, what are the tests for rajas now? Now we come to the rajas. Again, in the 14th chapter, next shloka, 7th shloka of the 14th, it says, Rajo ragatmakam vidhi ragatmakam. Rajas is of the nature of raga. Raga means attachment. Yeah? It is of the nature of raga. And Trishna asanga samudbhavam. It is born of desire and attachment. It is born of desire and attachment. How do you understand? Now, so that's what we are saying in this for rajas. How do you understand tamas? Next one. Tamas, the same thing. Again, we are taking the 14th chapter, 8th shloka. Tamasto ajnanajam vidhi. Tamas is that which creates all kinds of modification pertaining to ajnanam, all ignorance. That was the rajas was raga, that is attachment. This is ignorance. So sattva has knowledge and peace. Then whenever that peace goes away, it becomes agitations. That becomes rajas. When it goes against knowledge, then it becomes tamas. Yeah, the same sattva becomes when it is not shanti, then it becomes rajas. When it is not knowledge, then ignorance, that is tamas. So, what is that? What is tamas? It's laziness. It is moha, delusion, all these kind of things. Procrastination. So, this is called as tamas. So now, here in this particular shloka, our Vidyanaranyji says, Vairagyam. He has taken Vairagyam, dispassion. So, opposite of dispassion will be passion. Right? So, passion is rajas. Yeah. So, opposite of sattva is always rajas. So, dispassion means not having attachment to the objects of the world. So, naturally, that kind of creates peace. Otherwise, all this attachment to the worldly objects will always create some problem or the other. The second one he gives as an example is Shanti, not Shanti, but Chantri. Shanti means Chama, patience, forbearance. Yeah, Shanti. Titiksha, that means acceptance of anything. When we accept whatever pains or sorrow that come in our way, then we have peace. Why am I getting it? Always Gurudev used to say, why not I? Why should I? Why somebody else should get it? Why did I get this? No, we always ask like that. No, why not me? So you accept it. That's the way. So that becomes then sattva. And then next one is audaryam. Audaryam means generosity, yeah? Broad-mindedness. So it brings fulfillment and completeness in the heart. So it gives peace. So when it is said vairagya, also we have to remember viveka, vairagya. Vairagya can come only from viveka. We always say that in all the sadhana chatushtayam, because unless you discriminate between what is good and what is bad, we cannot reject the bad. So vairagyam is not rejecting the good things, because then we say, okay, now I have become, I reject everything. So from next time I'm not coming to Panchadasi class, because you told me you have to have vairagyam. So it's not like that. We have to have vairagyam for unnecessary and unwanted things. So here we have to understand viveka arise, the vairagya rising from viveka. So viveka is understanding what is nitya, what is anitya, what is good, what is bad, etc. And the clarity which gives, that is knowledge. Yeah? So that's why the example that have been given here are for vairagya, shanti, audaryam, ityadyaha, etc., etc. And that's what Vidyaranyaji has said. And others we can add them: daya, that is compassion; ahimsa, non-injury; arjavam, means straightforwardness. We always say straightforwardness is a very important quality. Whatever we think, we should always speak, and whatever we speak, we should always do. So in all the three, in the thought, in word and deed, we have to have the same thing. So then only it can be correct. So in the 16th chapter, first shlokam itself, all these sattvic qualities are given. Abhayam sattva samshuddhihi, jnana yoga vyavasthitihi, danam damascha yajnascha, swadhyaya stapa arjam. I mean, it just goes on and on. So many values are given. And then in the 13th chapter, we all know amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, etc., etc. And then all these are sattvic qualities. And in the fourfold qualities, viveka, vairagya, shama, dhamma, etc. All of these ityadyaha sattva sambhavaha, they all arise from sattvic quality. Sattva comprises of these. Now, some examples of rajas. Rajasaha utthitaha. These following qualities arise from the rajas, and that is kamaha. Kamaha means all kinds of desires for the result. For selfishness, we have to remember. Yeah, selfishness is the main predominant thing in rajas. So if kama is not fulfilled, then what happens? Krodha. Right? Then I get very angry. You got it and I didn't get it. So the krodha comes. If it is fulfilled, then what happens? We become greedy, lobha. Yeah. So kama, selfish desire, when it is not fulfilled, it turns into krodha, rage, anger. When it is not fulfilled, when it is fulfilled, then it becomes lobha. Lobha leads to moha. Moha means delusion. Delusion, what delusion? That there is joy in this world. I didn't get it, you got it. All these kind of things. So other kind of delusion is that we don't know what is right from wrong and start going after the wrong things. So that krodha also comes. Krodha becomes moha. So, and then another thing is, from lobha, pride comes. You think, oh, when lobha is fulfilled, then kon vasti sadrisho maya. In Bhagavad Gita it says, who is there equal to me? Nobody in this world. So many people talk like that. Then you have to know this is called as rajas. So lobha, if it is not fulfilled, then there is jealousy. So that's called as matsarya. He is going ahead of me. So that I have told you how matsarya is a very interesting word. Mattaha sarati iti matsarya means he is going ahead of me. Like, when we are going in the fast lane and somebody is going faster in the other lane, then some people get very angry. Huh? You are even not even in this lane and you are going fast. I will go even faster. So something like that. Mattaha sarati. Whenever this happens, I always think of Matsarya. So Kama leads to Krodha, to Moha, or Mada, Matsarya. All these things are all related with one another. From one to the other, you just keep on going. And another thing is Trishna and Asanga. Trishna, greed and attachment, all these things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. And also here it says Yatna. Yatna means effort, but here it means agitated effort. All I should get it, so I should put more, that kind of effort. So ityadyaha rajasa uttitaha. These kind of different kind of emotions arise from rajas. So opposite of, we said that Shanti and Jnana, again and again we are repeating, is the Sattva. Opposite of Shanti, Ashanti is Rajas, and opposite of Jnanam, that is knowledge, is ignorance, which is Tamas. Now, from Tamas, what are the things? Alasyam. That is what in the next shloka we said, laziness. Alasyam means laziness. This expresses as procrastination. It can also express as sleep. Yeah, but that also. And then Bhranti, delusion. Again, that also is opposite of knowledge. Then Tandra means sluggishness. So, ityadyaha vikaraha. These are the kinds of modifications for this tamasic nature. Tamasa uttitaha. These are all born from tamas. So, after explaining what the mind is as antakarana, the teacher has now gone on to say that the mind has 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. And then from there, he's saying what are the different modifications of sattva, rajas and tamas. That's what we have studied now. Now, what goes on? Where does he go next? He says, what are the results of this sattva guna, rajo guna and tamo guna? What happens if one has sattva guna? What happens when one has rajo guna and one has tamo guna? So, it says in the 15th one, can we again see the 15th and the 16th? We have done this line. Yeah. So we are now going to take the second line of the 15th and the first line of the 16th one. Satvikai punya nishpattihi papotpattischa rajasaihi tamasair no bhayam kintu vritha yukchapanam bhavet. Yeah, we'll say it together. Satvikai punya nishpattihi papotpattischa rajasaihi tamasairno bhayam kintu vritha yukchapanam bhavet. So, alasyam bhranti tandradhyaha vikaraha tamasa uttitaha. We saw that all those things, laziness, bhranti, delusion, tantradhyaha, sluggishness, etc., are the modifications which are born out of tamas. Now he is going to the next one. He says, what are the results of sattvic qualities and what are the results of rajasic qualities and what are the results of tamasic qualities. So now you can take it out. Sattvikaihi means through the sattvic vritti, thoughts, like we already said, Shanti, Vairagyam, and then Audaryam, and that is large-heartedness, etc. Shama, Dama, all those things, etc. forbearance, patience, love, kindness, compassion, friendliness, viveka. With all these, what happens? Punya nishpattihi. So they give punya. Punya is very difficult to translate into English. In English, we say merit. We say merit, but punya is not merit. Punya is the subtle result of an action or a thought. A subtle inner goodness which accumulates in the inner instrument of antakarana. See, whenever we do any action, there are always two results. The one is external result. Now we all can see that. But there is also an internal subtle result, and that is called as punya. Punya or papa. So here it is punya. So in English, when we translate it as merit, that doesn't, imply all this. Merit does not tell us that it is internal. It doesn't tell us. And merit does not say that it resides in the mind, in the Antakarana. It doesn't say that. Now, next, it does not say that, this is an important one, that the Antakarana carries it even after the body falls down. Yeah? After the body is dead, the Antakarana carries this punya to the next one, next body. So, merit does not tell that your next life depends upon this subtle collection that you are carrying with you. Yeah. When you say merit, all these points are not taken into account. So, when you have these thoughts, we say that sattvic vritti will lead to sattvic karma. Punya nishpattihi, and punya arises because of that. Nishpattihi means origination. It originates. It comes. So when knowledge is involved, then shanti is involved, and then the punya comes. So from the sattvic quality, what we get is punya. So those actions which are involved with knowledge, which are generators of peace, and understand that they are all punya karmas, that which gives you peace. So by sattva, by sattvic qualities, you get punya. Okay, now what will happen from rajas? That's the next one. Papotpatischa rajasaihi. Yeah. So opposite of sattva, with respect to the shanti aspect, when it expresses as trishna, that is, I want this, I want that, I should have this, and then attachment, asanga. From that, he says, only papa comes. So papa. So whenever we do rajasic vrittis, that is, we indulge in rajasic karmas, when we are very selfish and only thinking of our own good or our own welfare, etc., then papa rises. So that's why we don't go to 100% rajasic qualities. So that is the second one. Now, then what is tamasic quality? So, because we thought that tamas only will give papa. Here it says no. Rajasic means here pure rajas. That is, we become very selfish. That. Now, alasya, nidra, etc. when we have, then what happens? So, no punya, no papa. Then what? Tamasaihi, no bhayam. If we don't know Sanskritam, we'll think from tamas, you don't have to worry. No bhayam at all. You don't have to, fear. No. It's not like that. It is na ubhayam. Neither of them. Okay. Not this, not that. With tamas, neither punya nor papa. Yeah. So the subtle accumulation of that we collect, that punya or papa, here it's not there. Like in the punya can, we know like a person, very noble person, has a lot of accomplishments, then, we say he must have done a lot of punya in his past birth. We talk like that. And then there is another saying. It says, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Roga Rupena Jayate. All the time the roga, so many different diseases come. Then we say, maybe it is because of the papa karma that we have done. We don't know what they are, but they now, they express themselves. So both punya and papa the results of them keep on coming in our lives. So it says, Ubhayabhyam punya papabhyam manusham labhate avashah. Manusham means we get the human body because we have both punya and papa. That's why before we can say, I'm so happy, not happy. So it's always together, one thing after the other. So but for this tamasic result, neither punya nor papa is accumulated. Then what? Kintu, but ayuho vritha chapanam bhavet. Vritha means needlessly. So having the human birth, having such a wonderful equipment where you can become realized person. Yeah, with this, you neither collect punya, nor of course no papa. Vritha ayuhu chapanam bhavet. Needlessly, the life gets wasted. When you have tamasic quality, it's a whole waste of your human birth. Yeah. So this is what Vidyaranyaji very boldly declares. What are the aspects of all this Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic qualities? Yeah. So now, what all have we done? One by one, you have to keep on thinking in your mind. So the Antakaranam, the mind, has 3 types of qualities: Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. And what are those qualities? And from those qualities, what are the results? That's what we have done. Then one more thing is there, which we will try and do right now. Very short one. The second line of the 16th verse, which I don't think we chanted it. Let us see that. 16th verse, second line. Atraham pratyayi karteti evam loke vyavasthitihi. Atraham pratyayi karteti evam loke vyavasthitihi. Okay, together. Atraham pratyayi karteti evam loke vyavasthitihi. Aham pratyayi. You can take it out. Aham pratyayi. Aham pratyayi means aham vritti. Vritti means thought. Yeah. So pratyayi also is thought. Little bit it has a different flavor to it. When we say vritti, we say the modification, thought modification. Here it means it goes and grasps, as though the thought has grasped that. Something like that. So aham pratyaya means that thought which has captured the sense of I, which has made you think I. Suddenly I thought has come. Okay. From where? How did it come? It is called as the karta. Karta means sense of doership. I am the doer. First it thinks I know. Janati. Ichhati. I desire, I want. And then aham karoti. I am doing. So I thought comes out. And this I thought is called as not just ahankara, but sabhasa ahankara. What is sabhasa ahankara? Sa plus abhasa is sabhasa. So bhasa means reflection. So along with the reflection, now that pure consciousness, which has no thought of I, etc., is reflected in this thought, reflected. That's all, it's reflection. Just like when the sunlight is reflected in a pool of water, it's so bright. But when that pool of water goes away, that light is not there. This ahankara is nothing but just a reflection of that consciousness in this thought. The consciousness, which is the self, which is the pure I, gets reflected in the thought. It just totally envelops this thought, and suddenly it says I. Oh, I am the doer. Suddenly that has come. So, abhasa sahita aham vritti. It's called as sabhasa aham vritti. So, atra aham pratyayi karta. That's what in that shloka it says. This is the karta. I am the doer. Iti evam. In this way, loke vyavasthitihi. Loke vyavasthitihi means, the word is very beautiful. It says, this is the state of affairs. That means you cannot even question. But why? Why did this aham come? Arey, what to do? This how it is. Yeah, that's all it means. It means, what it means here is, that's what it is here. In this loka, there is rajas, there is tamas, there is sattva, and then there is this aham vritti suddenly, which says, I am the doer suddenly. If that had not been there, beautiful. We all would have known we are that Brahman. That suddenly, but why? We all ask like that, no? That's why what Vidyaranyaji is saying, Lokya vyavasthitihi. Are, keep quiet. That's the way it is. Yeah, that's how everything is. So, what is being observed, that's what I'm sharing with you. In the world, there is this aham bhava, aham karta iti. So, what is perceived in this world, I'm telling you. So, in the beginning, this is how it is. So, now that, okay, now what can I do? Now that I've got the ahankara, is there any way out at all? Or am I doomed for my life? So that will be our next question. Yeah. So one by one, as I said, he will just slowly take you to the next thing. Then you think, okay, this is now done. Now we have talked about antakarana with all the things, and then now you said that ahankara is also a part of that and all. So now he won't leave you. So how all these things that we have talked to you about is nothing but just sheer matter. They are all only matter which have come from the 5 Mahabhutas, Pancha Mahabhutas. So next time we'll go into that analysis. It's a huge, big analysis. Yeah. So we have to go into that analysis as to how these are all only matter. And, we cannot remember, in the beginning we said, Sadeva Saumya Idam Agra Asit. I don't know if you all remember. That is the Upanishad mantra, is the one that he is going to prove. That in the beginning, there was only Sat. There was only this existence, knowledge, bliss. That alone was there. From that only everything has come. He has to prove that. Right? So for that only we have analyzed all the things of the world. And now we have come to this conclusion up to the antakarana, what has got all these 3 types of modification. And then there is one ahankara, which suddenly has cropped up, and it says, I am the karta, I am the, now I desire, I have to have it, I am the doer, I am everything. That has come. Now all of this is only just matter. Means it has nothing, no consciousness in this. We'll come to that, then slowly and slowly, how to come out of that will be taught to us. So it would have been so nice, we think, if we had gone straight to that. But do you think we'll understand? No. Even after all this, we'll say, no, I am different from you. So I'm not different from you. You are not different from me. We are all the same consciousness. Absolutely no difference. But that doesn't enter into our head at all, because it is something that we have to experience and we really have to understand. So with that, we'll stop for today. And so what all we have done, we all have to remember. First we started with all the Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 elements, and then after that all the Jnanendriyas, their functions, Karmendriyas, their functions, and then Antakarana, the mind and its function, and then how it has 3 qualities. And also the 4th one now we talked about is the Ahankara. Up to that we have done. Also we have to remember, we have this great Ayodhya that is going to be so important for all of us. We'll say at least 3 times Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, as many times as we can sing a little bit. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Raghuram, Jaya Shri Ram. Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Very nice. So we'll think of Rama. Wonderful. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari.
Thank you so much, Mom. Enjoyed as usual. The 1 hour went fast, very, very fast for us today. So looking forward for the next month. And I think the discussion was very, very good as usual. I think the depth of Swami Vidyaranya's talk it's not easy, but I think you make it good with 5, 6 slokas every thing. And it's very nice, particularly the idea about how the mind is divided into these 3. We know these 3 from all that, and connecting it with Bhagavad Gita and Tattvaloka and all those things are very, very useful. Thank you, Mami. And then looking forward to the next class. Very nice. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Any questions anybody has, please feel free to send it out to panchadasi@svbfnorth.org. I think you will see it in the finishing slides. You will see that. Please do send out, and then we will send it out to Mami. And if there are questions, we'll address it the next session, or by email, we'll send it back to you. And again, thank you for Ayodhya, for a Ram temple. There is also on that day, we are getting some akshatas from Ayodhya. If anybody is interested, it will be in the temple, in the Sringeri Sharadamba temple. We'll have it next Sunday. So next Sunday, if you come, we can pick up some akshatas to as prasadam from Ayodhya. Okay. Thank you so much. Srinidhi, go ahead and finish it off. Thank you.
मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिके शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाम्बिके काल भैरव के काली दुर्गै के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरणतिर्के मल्लिकार्जुनर के செல்வ ஜனார்தனர் கே அம்பா பவானி கம்பத கணபதி சண்டி சாமுண்டி கே ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பகவான் கே ஸ்ரீ சக்கரவாசினி கே சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யருக்கே வித்யாசங்கரர்க்கே வாகீஸ்வரிக்கே வஜ்ரதேக கருட ஆஞ்சநேயருக்கே ஸ்ரீவள்ளி தேவசேனா சமேத சுப்பிரமணியருக்கே துங்கபத்ரைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு வித்யா தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு பாரதி தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு விதுஷேகர பாரதிக்கே மங்களம் குரு ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி சாரதாம்பி சங்கராச்சாரியருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி மகாகணபதி சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே